Hello, everybody. This is your old friend RJ City, and today I will be watching and reacting to all the intros from The Odd Couple. Yes, the original Odd Couple, not the one they made decades later with Matthew Perry and Thomas Lennon. No, this one has my favorite, Tony Randall, and Jack Klugman, who is also the reason that his wife, Brett Summers, even got on Match Game in the first place. Called up the producers and said, "Can you get my wife out of the house?" And a legend was born. But it's not about her. It's about Jack. It's about Tony. Little known fact, David Arquette wanted this to be our tag team theme song, and I said no. It didn't really reverberate well on a loudspeaker at a wrestling show. But in this setting, it is fantastic, and allow me to prove it to you without any further ado. Let's watch all the intros to The Odd Couple. You instantly know this song. You can't beat it. It's jazzy, but there's a doofiness to it, which I think works so well. There's Jack, he's smoking a nice cigar, and a good umbrella pickup by Tony Randall. And, you know, Felix there, he has an umbrella even though it's sunny. That is a character choice. And then here is how they're demonstrating how they're losers in different walks of life. One is ignorant, one thinks too much, but they're both so self-centered. And I think that's the important thing. And Tony Randall's character is a filmmaker, he's a photographer or some shit. And Jack Klugman is a sports writer, which I think Ray Romano ended up just ripping off. It was a good device, and look at what a slob Jack Klugman is. Like, he even cares. And here they are doing some sort of, I don't know if it's a dance thing. This, I would say, is people forget that Gary Marshall also worked on this. You think Odd Couple, you think Neil Simon, but Gary Marshall certainly made it applicable for television, I'll say that. And it's also one of those rare... Oh, here, we're getting outros, too. This is outstanding. What a beautiful... But outside of a strip club. You never saw that in a sitcom. Real quality New York shots. I would put this near the top of the list of intros that feature New York. You got a blind guy on the corner there, which is just perfect. For no reason. That joke doesn't pay off, which is outstanding. Maybe it will later. Let's move on, shall we? Ooh, that's a Gulf Western Company. Nobody calls it that anymore either.
On November 13th, Felix Unger was asked to remove himself from his place of residence.
A little more backdrop here.
That request came from his wife.
And it's rare to even get divorced
Deep
at
down,
this
he
time.
knew she was right, but he also knew that someday he would return to her.
And anytime you get divorced, it starts to
With
rain.
nowhere else to go, he appeared at the home of his childhood friend, Oscar Madison.
You know, you
Sometime
could
earlier,
easily do a
Madison's wife
prequel
had
of
thrown
Felix
him
and
out,
Oscar's
requesting that
kids.
he
Why are
never
they
return.
friends?
Can
Never
two
quite
divorced
figured it
men
out.
share an apartment without driving each other crazy?
Can two divorced men share an apartment without driving each other crazy? That is the premise of this entire show. And it works. And there was also, like, maybe there wasn't, and maybe we're just reading into it with modern eyes. You know, some people thought they were gay because it's two men sharing an apartment, and especially back then, people would assume. And they really are, you know, more like a Bert and Ernie. They have nobody else to live with. They drove everybody else crazy, and all they have is each other. So there is certainly, if not a romance, there's certainly a male intimacy here, you know? Just spending that much time together is unique enough for a plot for me. Let's move on now. Ooh.
On November 13th,
We
Felix
changed that
Unger was
drum
asked to
intro.
remove himself from his place of residence.
Wow.
That request
Tony
came
Randall's
from his
got a
wife.
great,
Deep down,
sad
he knew
face.
she was right.
And he's
But he
in
also
one of
knew
my
that
favorite
someday he
movies
would
ever, The
return
Seven
to
Faces
her.
of Dr. Love. And it's my favorite
With nowhere
because
else
it's bad.
to go, he appeared at the home of his friend, Oscar Madison.
And what
Several
is
years
great
earlier,
is that
Madison's wife had
it's
thrown
Felix
him
who
out,
gets
requesting
divorced,
that he never return.
and he
Can
has to
two
go to
divorced
Oscar
men
for
share an
help.
apartment
You know what I mean?
without driving
He's the
each
one
other
down on
crazy?
his luck. So it's not a one-sided thing. They're both fuck-ups in their own way. And that's what makes this show last. This is like a remixed version of the theme song. It was nice to jazz it up. And I mean, at this point, we don't really need that narration. It's just nice, though. All of this is beautiful. They do, in their own ways, feel like real New York people. You know what I mean? And I think it was, who was it? Jack Klugman and Jack Lemmon, if I'm not mistaken, that were in the, and it was a movie too. I'm thinking about the original play. But I honestly cannot think of another play that has been turned into a movie. Pat Morita is in this as Mr. Wing. Can't go wrong there. Seems like a hell of an episode. Neil Hefti wrote this one. Neil Hefti maybe also wrote the Batman 66? I think he did. I might be wrong. But, yes, I can't think of another play that's been also a movie and a TV series. It's just an enduring kind of characters. And this is the new CBS logo, which nobody cares about. This one's a little different here. Got a big yawn from Tony Randall. What are you doing? You need to stop this. I told you to stop smoking. This is totally different. Now they're getting their exercise. Come on, Klugman. That's great. He used hurdles. He used the tennis nets as hurdles. And look at that. Tony Randall was into homeopathy before anyone else. Jack is always, like, Jack's character arc was that he had poor digestion, really. You know, one is neat and the other is not. But they still attempt. What leg action by Tony Randall? I'm stealing that next time I'm on the court. Oh, wow. And that's the elegance of Tony Randall, just leaping over Jack Klugman. He had some hops on it, you know. He could never do anything right. They hated each other, but they loved each other. This show had a very good ending, too. They actually just ended it with, there's a whole thing about throwing out the trash. They leave, and he goes, I know he wouldn't throw this out. And then, it's the whole thing. I'm not gonna spoil the ending for you, but it's very, very sad. Nobody's dead, but here we go. Come on, let's play some ball. You have a cigar and a baseball glove. I don't want to play any of this. I want to throw some coins into the fountain. I'm trying to wish. Well, why would you do that? You go in the fountain there. And you fetch it because you've lost it. You need to go get it. I love that he picks it up with the oh, Jesus. Amazing. How dare you put that in my pocket? Jack Klugman must have reeked. You should know those were real cigars. All the 70s, look great. And then you realize it must have just stunk. That's a great acting yawn by Tony Randall. I will also say that. One of the great tired actors. Oh, and we've changed it up where he's no longer looking at what seems to be a prostitute. He's now getting attacked by a child. And this is... And Tony Randall's stoned, and he's putting stuff up his nose. That's the classic Oscar look. The backwards hat, the disheveled back robe, and always a sandwich. Wow. Tony Randall really puts a physical embellishment on his athletic endeavors. I'll say that. How dare you use the curtain to dry your hands? And now you're using my shirt? And maybe Tony does like it. And what a mess, but what a beautiful mess. I love these carpets. There's something so comforting about just the largest bedroom in the world. Oh no, he's gonna spray his sandwich. That's just a dick move. Oscar was a dick. Oscar was a dick and Felix was an asshole. And they're in the same house. Ooh! The outro, we've really trimmed down here. We really gotta save on the budget, guys. No more B-roll. We've already established it. Let's just move on. I'm sorry. Leif Garrett's in this episode. Al Molinaro as Murray. Of course, he owned the diner in Happy Days. What a run that was. And is that the end? I think it is, recorded by Glen Sound. Which is something I didn't know, and I'm sure I'll bring that up at a cocktail party years from now. Well, those were all the intros to The Odd Couple. It makes me very happy. It's a show that is probably too old. It's too old to be nostalgic for many people in that sense, but I think people need to go back, and I think people need to rediscover it. I mean, there's a lot here. It's a great theme song. It's a solid premise. It's rare that both the actors are lauded theater actors, and then they bring so much to this. I mean, it's so rare that a sitcom would be based on a play. But this is the only one because it's special and it's delightful. And to think the whole time Jack Klugman was banging Brett Summers. Can't go wrong there.